But that's what he does. Like, he's known for his footwork, his movement. Like, he's athletic with his legs, but his hands are kind of slow. Krzysztof is a weird type of athlete because he has the foot speed, but he don't have the hand speed. First off, like this video and subscribe. We got Krzysztof Jotko versus Brendan Allen. I always thought Krzysztof Jotko was a little bit overrated. Let's go and look at his record and see who he beat. One thing I realized with Krzysztof Jotko is he beat a lot of people who were kind of washed up. Tyler's latest, come on now. Misha Cirkunov, that he's been in the UFC a long time. But look who he beat. Tamdan McCory, Scott Askham, Mark Andre. These guys not even in the UFC, which the Gerald Meerschaert fight is impressive. But the thing is with Gerald Meerschaert, Jared has one way of winning. And like, he can be kind of one-dimensional. And if you go and look at the Misha Cirkunov fight, it looked like Misha won that fight because how they both land 41 significant strikes, but Misha has 5 takedowns and his control time is 4 minutes. Krzysztof not a bad fighter. I just think he's a little bit overrated. He hasn't beat the elite fighter yet, which I don't even think he beat Misha Cirkunov. And Ciryl is kind of coin toss. Some of these guys like Eric Anders, you never know what you get from him. And he lost to Uriah Hall, and it's like he was winning the fight and he got knocked out in the second round. I think whenever he fights tougher competition, he loses. And he even got knocked out by Brad Tavares. When was the last time Brad knocked somebody out in the UFC? So Brad only knocked out 2 people. The first person he knocked out was Phil Baroni in 2011, and that fight should not have happened. Way past Phil Baroni's prime, which Brad does have a lot of knockout power, but like, he doesn't really have a lot of knockouts in the UFC. For him to lose like that to Brad Tavares, I don't think he's elite. I don't think Krzysztof is elite. But that's what he does. Like, he's known for his footwork, his movement. Like, he's athletic with his legs, but his hands are kind of slow. Krzysztof is a weird type of athlete because he has the foot speed, but he don't have the hand speed. And he don't really throw a lot of punches. He throws like a lot of kicks. His takedown defense is 83%. So like, he's a bad matchup for certain guys like the Gerald Meerschaert and the Misha Cirkunov. Even though Misha took him down 5 times, he's still a bad matchup for some of these guys. I'm not saying the juice. Like, Krzysztof ain't got the juice. He ain't got the it factor. He's good enough to be in the top 10, maybe like barely hanging on by one hand. But I can't see Krzysztof beating nobody in top 10. I can't see him beating nobody in top 15. But his opponent, Brendan Allen. Brendan, he's well-rounded. He can finish it on the feet. He can finish it on the ground. But that's really what he's known for, like his takedown, his grappling. They're both well-rounded, but it's gonna be like striker versus grappler. Even though it's striker versus grappler, Brandon gonna do a better job of mixing the two together, even though they're both well-rounded. But Brandon only 2 losses comes to Chris Curtis. And at the time, a lot of people were doubting Chris Curtis and Sean Strickland. And Sean is in top 5 now. Both of those guys train together. He's been beating everybody else. He even has a rear naked choke win over Kevin Holland. But I like Brendan Allen's style. In my opinion, he's definitely gonna get this fight to the ground. He's definitely gonna get this rear naked choke win. But the thing is, Krzysztof is good at avoiding that type of loss. Like, Krzysztof may lose, but he's not gonna lose where like he just got out grappled or out muscled. So Brendan Allen is gonna have to mix up the striking and actually hurt him. Brandon hurt Sam Alvey. Sam Alvey was in the UFC 4 years longer than what it should have been. So like, it's a good win for Brandon to have on his record. That's an extra win, but it really don't mean a lot because Sam is not the best fighter. Yeah, but he was able to hurt Sam Alvey, get the rear naked choke. Brandon's gonna find a way to win. He's gonna have to hurt Krzysztof first because he can't just take Krzysztof down. Brandon don't have nothing to worry about with Krzysztof because he don't really throw strikes and knock his opponent out. He just throws strikes to score points. But I think Brandon can take chances and look to land a right hand or a left hook just to cover distance to hurt Krzysztof. And then after he hurt him or drop him, he can go ahead and get the rear naked choke. Put some money in my bank because I'm putting money on Brendan Allen. 2nd round rear naked choke. Like this video and subscribe.